Who are you?
I'm Scott Evans. I'm the president of the bank here.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Scott Evans.
Yeah.
How can I help you? You're going to call the police? Please don't do that.
Why?
What's going on?
Well, I'm hoping you can tell me.
We just got called here for unwanted, apparently. Do you guys have any identification?
I always have identification.
Can I get some?
How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press. We are coming to you today from Richmond, Indiana. We are in downtown Richmond today, and we're just going to take you on a little tour of the downtown area here and find out how the folks in Richmond treat the First Amendment and our right to film in public and from publicly accessible areas of public places. As usual, I am out with Watching the Watchman today. Give you a little view of the neighborhood here, and obviously you'll see more as we get started. But while I'm doing that, time and temperature check. Today is Thursday, July 7th. It is 3:41 in the afternoon, and it is 84 degrees, overcast, and pretty humid here in Richmond, Indiana. Hope you all are feeling good and doing something you love with some people you can tolerate. Hopefully you have a little sunshine where you are. If you don't, I invite you to make your own. And hopefully we'll get a good video for you here today. So, should be interesting. First time in Richmond, Indiana. So stand by. Hey, make it out there, Watchman. What's happening? So let's go check out Richmond, Indiana. This will be our first audit here in Indiana. And like I said, first time in Richmond. So we'll experience it for the first time together. What's this, Merchants Bank? See if I get a shot of that logo up there. Yeah, that is, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, look at that. How they have, let me point that out to you here. They have their, they'll talk about privacy here with their customers' private information, and then completely visible from the sidewalk, computer screens. And now she just turned it a little bit to the right, but they all have their computer screens facing right towards the street. What's with this guy?
This is a bank. So you're taking pictures inside a bank building.
I missed the first part of the conversation.
This is a bank. You're taking pictures inside a bank building. Is there a reason?
Is there a reason?
Yeah.
Well, who are you?
I'm Scott Evans. I'm the president of the bank here.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Scott Evans.
Yeah.
How can I help you?
Well, I'm wondering what you're doing out here taking pictures on the inside of my building.
Why, is there a problem?
Yeah, it's security.
Security
Yes.
of?
The bank.
Why, do you have people's personal information on display in the bank?
Well, we do have alarm systems in that, sir.
Alarm systems?
Yeah.
You lost me.
You don't understand security of a bank?
Well, this is a camera. It's not an alarm system detection device.
I know, but a camera can be used to take pictures of our security system, can it?
Of course. Sure it could.
Okay. I don't think it's common for people to take
So
pictures.
you're concerned about your security at the bank?
I am, yes.
So is that the reason that you have all the computer screens aimed out towards the sidewalk? Visible through a window?
They shouldn't be, but you shouldn't be able to read them.
Shouldn't be able to read them. Shouldn't be able to read them.
Well, you want to take a look?
You shouldn't be able to read them.
Well, if I shouldn't be able to read them, then what's your concern with security?
Well, I'm worried about the security system that we have here. So are you taping me?
I don't understand what you mean about being worried about a security system. Yes, I am taping.
Call the police.
You're going to call the police? Please don't do that.
Why?
Why would you call the police? You want to put my life in danger because I'm taking pictures on the sidewalk? You're not a nice man, Scott. You're not a nice guy. You're not a very nice guy. I'd be more worried about turning those computer screens around if that's what your concern is. Jesus, first stop. Right out of the gate. We just got here 5 minutes ago. Wow. Yeah, let me give you a view of where we are here. People are silly. He's going to call the police. And that's a good one. Do you hear that? He's worried about his alarm system. I've never heard that one before. What does that even mean?
Yeah, what's the issue with your alarm system?
Like I'm going to take pictures of like what, where like the motion sensors are or something, and then come back and try to avoid them like Matrix style, robbing the bank?
Jumping through the lasers.
It's a wild imagination, man. So you really can't see what's going on in there. You can see through if you're really trying to see through, but as you guys know that watch us, I'm really not interested in what's on their computer screens. But since this guy here is so concerned about security, I think he's lucky that we're here today to point out his major security flaw, because even he said that the screen shouldn't be facing the sidewalk.
Yeah.
When I said you have screens facing the sidewalk, he said, well, they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be able to read them.
Well, worry about that. Worry about things you can control. Worry about things that are something you can do something about. What is that, Scott? Is that him? The green frog, he's like Super Frog? Gonna save the world from cameras? Outrageous. It's absolutely incredible. There you go. Right on, you're looking buff, man. You've been working out.
No, not really, just walking a lot.
Right on, there you go. There's the cops right down there. There's 2 cars coming. So we have 2 police cars coming from the left here. No. So we have vehicle number 204. Actually, there's 3 of them, it looks like. Ridiculous. Wow.
How are we doing, guys?
Good, how you doing, boss?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Well, I'm hoping you could tell me.
I don't know. We just got called here for unwanted, apparently.
Unwanted. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, Scott, I guess was his name. The president of the bank is who he identified himself as.
Okay.
Doesn't like us taking pictures on the sidewalk.
Okay. Is it a customer, kind of like a customers don't want to be taking pictures of because as they're walking in or maybe or something like that?
Oh, no,
or?
Scott told me he didn't want me taking pictures on the sidewalk because I could be photographing his alarm system to come back and do something later. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Gotcha.
I think he's got a wild imagination.
Well, you know how that is.
No, I really don't.
Well,
I honestly don't. I think the guy that's going to do that's going to have a little bit of a smaller stick than this.
maybe.
I'm not
maybe.
trying to secret myself out here, you know.
You'll be surprised though, man. You'll be surprised.
Can I ask who I'm speaking with, just so I know?
Yep. Officer Hobbs.
And it's badge number.
153, right
Okay.
there. Yep.
A lot of officers. I don't know if that's actually.
Yeah. It's all of our information on there.
Right on. So that's what you got here.
Okay.
A couple guys taking pictures out on the sidewalk, and Scott got upset.
I understand. What are you guys taking pictures for? Is it just for fun or is it for a
Oh,
project?
I'm just out taking. I'm not looking to explain myself.
Oh, you're not?
No. Why would I? I have a nice camera, and I'm out enjoying a beautiful day taking pictures. That's all.
It's just a question.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to answer you. I'm just not looking to give you too much information.
Gotcha.
There's no reason.
Do you guys have any identification?
I always have identification.
Can I get some?
No, I'd rather not
Man,
give
I
it.
just ID myself to you.
Well, you're a public employee approaching me in the capacity of your official duties here, right?
I mean, yeah, but I thought
I'm just a regular guy out on the sidewalk who just had somebody call the police on me and make up some wild story about me.
they didn't make up a wild story.
Sure they did. He said I'm out here filming his alarm
he didn't tell us
system.
that. All
Yeah,
he
well,
said
that's
was
what I'm
that you
saying.
guys just taking pictures.
So yeah, no, I would, if I was suspected of committing a crime, I'd be happy to give you my ID. If I'm not suspected of committing any crimes, or if I'm not committing a crime, why would I? I value my privacy.
Do you?
Of course.
Yeah. Same with you then? Follow suit? Yeah.
I mean, I would never go inside the bank and start taking pictures.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate
I'm
it.
outside on a public sidewalk.
Yep.
They have their privacy inside. Outside, none of us do. Right?
Yep.
So that's all it is.
Yep.
And I'm not looking. You're being very cordial, and professional. I'm not looking to give you a hard time either.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I just really do value my privacy, and I'm at this point very confused as to why he even called you.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest with you. That's why he went in there to ask him, but all he told us was that you guys was on the property. I don't even know if he said
Never
sidewalk.
step foot on the property.
No, always on the sidewalk the whole time?
Never step foot on the property.
Okay. Fair enough. So, well, we'll wait for him to come back out, make sure nothing else is coming of it, and then kind of go from there, okay?
Alrighty. I'll keep taking my pictures here. If you guys need me, let me know. I'm assuming we're not being detained, correct?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
And can I just ask name and badge number so I know who was here?
Yeah, Amagansett 106.
Amagansett 106. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Wow. Yeah, the whole PD's challenges, I guess. Strange. Wow. And they think because the police are here, we can't take pictures. You know, people have to understand. I really hope you guys educate these guys.
What's that?
I really hope you educate them on what the situation is, because this response from your police department, I understand you got to call for service, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But it's a complete waste of resources. It's ridiculous.
How's that?
You have two guys out on the sidewalk taking pictures, and you call the
There's
police
two
on
of
them?
you, there's two of us, and we need one to speak to the bank.
Yeah, so they always try to match
I'm not
us
saying,
up.
listen, I started my statement by saying you guys got to call for service, you're doing what you have to do.
Right.
The waste of resources came from this gentleman dialing 911 because somebody's out on a sidewalk taking pictures.
Yeah.
That's just foolish.
Step inside his shoes, you know?
No, that's just foolish.
Okay, I mean, step inside his shoes and you see two...
What kind of issues?
Step inside his shoes.
Step inside issues? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what that means? You never heard that?
Step inside issues. No, I've never heard of it.
Step inside his, like, be in his shoes for a
shoes, be in
second.
his shoes.
Oh, step inside
Yeah,
his shoes. I thought you
yes.
said step inside
Yes.
issues. I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
So, I mean, wouldn't you find it kind of strange, or you'd be
If people
curious
are out
about
taking
it, right?
pictures on the sidewalk, no, I'm too old to find that strange.
Well,
I'd probably wave at their camera and say hi, Mom.
Well, I mean, especially a place of business like this, a bank. You know, it looks like, honestly, to common people, it looks like you might be casing place.
With this camera,
Oh, we've had it.
crazy stuff like that happen, man.
that's the silliest thing I've ever
I know,
heard.
Maybe
trust me, when
silly,
it
but it
happened, we
happens.
told him it was silly too.
It may be silly, but it does
Yeah.
happen.
Well, you know, I mean, if somebody's going to come rob this bank and they want information on the outside of the property where I am, Google Earth's got it
it's
all,
not
man.
The outside, if you're taking pictures of the inside, getting the inside of the layout,
Yeah. I'm
That's
assuming
another
those
thing.
cameras are probably good enough to see through the windows, ain't
right
they?
through the tent and all that.
First of all, I'm not filming anything to get any layout of anything, but even if I
That's
was,
why
know
we're
that,
here
though.
investigating.
even if I am, let's just say for shits and giggles, for argument's sake, I'm out here taking pictures through the window to gain access to the layout of the floor plan of the building.
Okay.
Nothing illegal about that. Nothing illegal about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's zero criminal
I'm saying
intent.
That's what I'm saying. If we don't know, there's zero criminal
You don't know
intent.
there is any because there isn't any. If
Correct, so-
if there was criminal intent, you'd know there was.
No, that's
That's
why
how that
we're here
works.
investigating.
No. When
Yes.
you're out in public, there is no expectation. This is what I told Scott. There is no expectation of privacy in public. Correct?
No, but there.
So when you're out on a pub-
there is a thing that's called decent people, though. If somebody doesn't want to be recorded,
Well, that's very subjective.
sure. But if
You
somebody
guys will have body cams sooner or later, and you're going to be videotaping everybody you talk to. You're going to ask their permission?
huh?
You're going to ask their permission?
If we don't have body cameras,
I said when you do.
oh, if we do,
If you do. Why don't you?
we don't. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that exactly.
Would you rather have body cams? You think that's a good thing?
Sure. I think it would be a great thing for us.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
It would help a lot of cases.
It's an objective
a lot
witness
of-
that doesn't tell
stupid
lies,
things.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think
Right.
this is a stupid thing. I'm a little older than you are.
Sure.
You're probably somewhere in the middle.
Man.
And
I heard. I'm actually older than him.
are you?
He's
Well, I don't know.
It's the receding hairline.
It's the receding, and I have no hairline. So my issue is for someone calling 911 because there's people out on a sidewalk taking pictures. I think that's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
subjective opinion.
Correct. Everybody has
And
them.
I agree with
I
you.
agree.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but I mean, like you said,
It is
we're
crazy.
We're here to do a job.
Okay.
And as long as you guys aren't doing anything crazy.
Well, I think
illegal,
part of
then-
your job is, that's why I asked if you were going to educate them, because part of the job is to let them know that people have a right to be out on the sidewalk taking pictures.
But unfortunately, though, in return, like, just hear me out, okay? But in return, though, even though we will agree with you that if you guys did nothing wrong, there was no reason to be caught on. But in the same sense, they also have the right to call if they want to. Just like
they
people have
do.
the right to stand on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
corner and record. You know what I mean?
People do have a right to call.
So-
Eventually, if they did it enough times, it would become abuse of the 911 system, I
Right.
guess, at some point.
Yep.
But
If
Absolutely.
they're calling 911.
Yeah, if they're calling 911.
I'm
Because
assuming they
call-
called
somebody
911.
call
Yeah, I don't know.
non-emergency.
A lot of people call the non-emergency number too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
I just think it's silly, man.
yeah.
You know, because I'm taking audio and video. I'm out here. I'm taking pictures of the buildings.
Yeah.
Took some video of the pharmacy here. I was getting this building when you pulled up.
Yeah.
I did take some pictures of the outside of the bank. But people need to understand there's nothing unlawful about that. And why
They don't
people's
think
mind.
it's unlawful. Let's
Sure
say
they
that
do. Why would you call the police if you don't
maybe
think it's
they're scared.
unlawful?
That's
Yeah.
why.
they
maybe
could be
this
scared.
person has been through
Okay,
some kind of traumatic
so
experience
now-
where they've noticed that people are recording. They're like, oh shit.
So now
It's gonna happen again.
you've been gifted an opportunity today to quell their fears
Well,
and explain
That's
to
what we
them
try to do
that
every
people
day.
are
Yeah,
allowed
we
to be
try.
able to.
We
yeah.
try.
Well, you know, a lot of law enforcement. There's some very good law enforcement in this country.
Yeah.
And then there's some other guys not so much.
Yep.
And some of the guys will try to exacerbate the fears and stir them up, and try to get some kind of a
Complete
reaction.
opposite of what we want to do, because
Well, that's
then
good.
that's going to get them to call 911 again and get them. Like, the last thing I want to do is have another encounter with people.
I mean, come on, honestly, you must be sitting in your car and hear a couple of guys with cameras out on the corner, and you're like, oh god,
yeah. I'm
really?
like,
that's exactly what we said. We're like,
Fair- fantastic. Yeah.
I almost went the other way.
It's stupid because you know, it's stupid. It really is. And people need to learn that that's not the way. That's not the world I want to live in.
It's not. But at the same time, I'm not saying you guys are. But what if you guys did have ill intent? Wouldn't
You would
want
never
police-
know.
Exactly.
If
That's
I had
why
ill
we're out
intent,
here
you know
trying
what?
to figure it out.
If I had ill intent, I'd be out here with a camera you wouldn't even know I had.
That's what I'm
I'd
saying.
go in there asking them some BS questions about opening an account and ask to use the bathroom, film the whole place, ask to speak to the manager, check their.
Maybe we just stopped you, not you guys, but maybe we stopped those people before they had a chance to continue that.
Where are they? What people? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying if that was your course of action. I'm not saying that's what you guys
No,
were doing
I don't
today.
know.
I'm
I don't know.
saying in a situation like that, you know?
I think it's a shame that everybody's walking around in fear and anxiety mode these days.
I don't think everybody is.
Oh, there. Where have you been?
I don't think everybody is
not.
either, but I'll be
The
honest.
vast majority of
I'll be
people
hon-
are,
Yes,
guys.
I think majority of people are, but if we want to talk about what we think is not, I personally, and this is my opinion, because I'm like you, when I'm not working, I'm not doing anything illegal. When I'm not working, I'm just out enjoying. But I also will say though,
Well, I could be working.
But in return, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I'm not working, or
Right.
even when I am working, I'm not doing anything illegal. But I also don't have an issue with, and some people do, I don't have an issue with identifying myself ever. Ever.
I have an issue with identifying myself when I am not legally required to. Why would I want
I'm
to?
never legally required to identify myself ever.
Nope. It's a courtesy
It's a courtesy.
that we do it. We do not have to
That's
provide
not
a name
true.
and badge. That's true.
No, you want to know
It's
why
per
that's not
policy.
true?
It's per policy.
You want to know why that's not true?
Sure.
You're wearing your name and badge. And the
Exactly.
reason you're
But
wait,
the-
let me finish my
the
sentence.
reason-
No, I'm
no,
going to finish my
because
sentence.
everybody wants to
The reason
record
you're wearing a
our
nameplate
badge
and a
name
badge number
but there's
is so
like,
that the
you're
public
assuming
knows
I
who
can
they're
read,
talking with.
So I can
Right?
just tell them.
Are you
hey,
hearing
it's
anything
right
I'm saying?
here. I'm not. I'm trying to explain
All
why.
right. While you guys are
That's
standing
fine.
here, I'm just going to go film in their windows so they can
fine.
see that's not a problem.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, very good.
I-
No soft spot at all.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. you didn't
Not
have
at
to
all.
ask for it.
No, but you should really listen more.
Okay.
You should. You are required to identify yourself. That's why you're in full uniform. And watch this. I'm going to film right in their windows. It's silly. It's silly, and somebody needs to tell people they're silly. You are 100% professional and courteous, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Your partner's being professional and courteous, but he's also very opinionated. So what I was trying
We
to
all
say
have
was,
them though, man.
well, but you're on the job, man. And what I was trying to explain was, you are required to identify yourself as a police officer. That's why
We
you're
are required to identify ourselves as a police officer, but not our actual name.
Yes, you
we don't
are.
have to do it. No.
That's why you have a badge,
well, that's because it's part of the uniform.
because you're required to identify yourself as a police officer with your badge number and name. Can I ask who I'm speaking with, just so I know?
Yep. Officer Hobbs,
And it's badge number.
153, right
Okay.
there. Yep.
A lot of officers. I don't know if that's actually.
Yeah. It's all of our information on there.
You don't have to verbalize it,
Right.
But people have to know you're a cop.
Correct.
I can't just go to a costume shop and get a cop uniform and walk around and pretend I'm a cop,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'd have to put a name and a badge number on. And then I'm impersonating a law enforcement officer, and then I go to jail.
So let me ask you this: so a cop that doesn't have a name tag on isn't a cop?
A cop that doesn't have a name tag on is an undercover officer, most likely, or off duty.
Okay.
All uniformed police officers wear badges and name tags, right?
A lot of them wear badge
not,
numbers, but not on name tags.
Sure they do. I've never come across a police officer that doesn't have a name tag on. And I've been in 28 states in the past 3 years.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and why would you not want to identify yourself?
That's what I'm asking
You
guys.
Do you know how many women? Do you know how many women have been raped and abused and murdered in rest areas on the side of the road because some cop wouldn't identify himself because he wasn't really a cop? It's very important that you identify yourself.
I agree. I think it's very important that
100%.
everybody identifies themselves.
No, not at all.
Because you know how many women...
I'm not acting in any official capacity.
No, but you know how many women have been, let's say, stalked by people with cameras and raped?
Stalked by people with cameras and raped.
Yeah,
So
videoed, stalked, continue. I'm not saying you, obviously, but I'm just saying in general.
No, I don't think that's even appropriate to the conversation we're having. I don't even think that is. No. What does that have to do with anything?
No, well, you said the same thing by a police officer that.
Right, because we're talking about whether or not you need to identify yourself.
Right, which
Me carrying a camera doesn't mean I'm going to rape anybody.
No, right, and me being a police officer doesn't either. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you see what I'm saying?
I guess so. I don't know. You know, if I decide not to identify myself, first of all, I have a constitutionally protected right not to identify myself, right?
Yeah.
If you decide not to identify yourself, that's shady.
Okay.
When you approach somebody in your official capacity as a law enforcement officer, and you walk up and say, I am an officer with this department, name and badge number, please. I don't have to give you that. Would you actually say that to somebody?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
And your policy doesn't require you to
Yeah, we
identify
don't have
yourself?
to. No, if you want to know our information, we just send you to the police department and get our information from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So why
I mean,
why do you why did you identify when I asked you to?
I have never had a problem identifying. If I walked out of this bank in a civilian clothes and you was out here recording, you'd be like, hey, I'm out here recording this. What's your name? I'd be like, Officer Hobbs or
Right.
whatever. So I've never had an issue identifying myself.
Well, you just have to, there is a difference between what you're required to do and what I'm required to do. Because you have that uniform on.
Yeah.
You swore that oath and you took that position,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I never promised to give anybody my ID.
Well,
Like I said, if you suspected me of a crime,
Right,
or you
different
were accusing me of a crime, and you
Right.
had me under a lawful detainment, I'd be happy to give you my ID.
Absolutely.
No issues. I'm not hiding who I am.
well, that's good.
But but that'd be the same thing. Like if Scott walks out and asks for my ID, should I give it to him?
What's that?
The president of the bank, if he comes out and says, I want to know who you are, your ID, should I give it to him?
You don't have
Exactly
to.
right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I really respect you a lot. I got to tell you that. It may not seem like it the way I'm talking, but I appreciate anybody who's old school enough to be able to have a healthy debate.
Absolutely.
And
Oh, yeah.
discuss
I'm
something
always
without
up-
getting butthurt and upset.
Yeah, I'm always
Yeah.
up for a debate. I mean, we can have two different sides of the stories and completely think about, I can have my ways, you have your ways. People are set in ways. I understand.
Well, but you know what? Another officer on another day might show up and arrest somebody for taking pictures on the sidewalk just because Scott doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And I call those people feelings enforcers, not law enforcers.
Okay.
Right? So I'm glad we have a couple of law enforcement officers here today, not feelings enforcers.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you too.
You're good, man.
I appreciate it.
See, you get in the tale of two cities here. Then you get guys like this that want to tell you their whole life story.
Yeah.
Huh? How we doing?
Doing all right.
Can I just get name and badge number so I know who was here?
I'm up house, man. Badge number's 155.
155. What was your last name?
Up house.
I can't hear you.
Up house.
Up House? Thank you, sir. Yeah, so that's cool, man. I'm glad you're willing to have the conversation.
Absolutely.
A lot of guys aren't. A lot of guys think that the badge and the name tag and the uniform give you a lot of authority that you don't have. And I hate to run into those guys. You know what? I don't mind running into officers who are not handling themselves properly and exposing that nonsense.
Right.
But I also like to celebrate the successes.
Yeah.
And you've been, like I said, very courteous, and
I appreciate it.
you're upholding your oath and you're doing things the right way, and that's what we like to see. You know, you don't know what my history is with this camera.
Is that 2 cameras?
There's what, 2
Oh,
cameras?
that's GoPro.
This one's a 360 camera. Yeah.
Yeah. I see it now. It's pretty cool.
How much does
This
something
is
like that
this is the
cost?
one that reads the floor plan of the bank when I'm out on the sidewalk.
With thermal.
Yeah,
all
with
that.
thermal and laser
What does
and
something like
radar.
that cost, man?
Like that setup, that whole setup.
The whole setup?
Yeah,
I
roughly.
can't get into that.
Rough,
roughly.
rough and dirty.
That's how much do you make a year? See, he's going to tell me now.
55,
See, you're too good, man.
I mean, I'm not asking
You
you
can
to
look
tell
it
me your
up.
bank
Yeah, you
account.
can
I'm
look it up.
Sure, I can look it up too, but I was just curious
I'm
how much a
curious.
setup like that is.
I've always wanted a camera, but I'm like,
I was just about to say,
what
do you
get?
guys take pictures or video? Is it a hobby for anybody? or-
No, I
It's
wouldn't
in
say
my
a hobby.
family, but not for me.
Yeah, it's something I would like to pick up, but I don't know anything about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when I was in the military, one of my sergeants, he had, is it a Canon?
Canon? Yeah,
Really
that's one.
expensive camera, I don't know, something like that.
So you probably were in the military, what, about 10 years ago?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, Canon
Well,
was...
no, I was in for 10 years, but I just got out 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he on the side he would do photography,
Right.
and he would do Photoshop and all that stuff, and make like his own personal vehicle and stuff like that. Just
Well, here's
really
one I'll
sharp.
give you that you guys will probably appreciate, and I've said it a couple times before. Imagine if we could all sit down right now, right, and watch video of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid riding in off the dusty trail, going into the saloon to have a cold one. Wouldn't that be cool? right?
Yeah.
So 100 years from now, people are going to be able to watch that stuff.
That's true.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Yeah. They'll be able to see Officer Anasetti
Nice. Yeah.
and
That was it.
Officer
You guys
Hobbs.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Normally
think
people
you're
don't get that on the first
you're
try.
like the only one.
Yeah, well, I like to pronounce people's names correctly.
Where do you think it is?
What, your last name? It's not Anasetti?
No, what do you think it like?
Where do you think it's from?
Background,
Yeah.
is it?
Well,
Heritage.
background, heritage, going by the name, if I wasn't looking at you, I'd probably say Italian.
See.
But I would say probably Hispanic.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if I'm going to nail it down, what is it?
Filipino.
Filipino.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
down
Right on.
Hispanic.
And it's not Fernandez.
No.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. And I hope I gave you a little break from the humdrum here. Doesn't seem like you got much going on. I don't know.
We do. The city's on fire right now. But
Is it really?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was going to say. Well, you never know. I don't know.
Yeah, we just all right around the corner actually when this call came in.
Right on. Do you guys know what we're doing out here and why I'm here?
No,
Don't even have a clue?
I asked you.
Yeah,
you said you wasn't going to tell me.
You didn't want to tell us.
Well, now you've earned a little bit of my respect, so we're starting to have a more personal conversation
I guess
now,
so,
you
I
know?
guess so.
So what we're doing is a First Amendment audit.
Okay.
You guys aware of what that is?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've probably had a little bit of training or discussion about it in the mornings, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so that's all it is. We're out in publicly accessible areas and public places exercising our right to take video and photographs. Simple as that.
So you almost, let's be honest here, you probably actually fully expected this to happen.
No, I can't tell. I'm one of the auditors online. I'll give you my channel before we leave.
Really?
And if you go look at my videos, a fair amount of my videos are very positive, productive, non-drama
Oh, that's
conversations with
I
people.
would like to assume most of them are, but I feel like a lot of people are.
We
after
do
those
have a
bad
couple though here in
conversations.
town that's looking for it, but that's
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
And there's, you know what, you probably have a couple of officers in town that are looking for mess.
probably.
Which is why you can probably understand. Like, I don't know how our approach was with you guys, but it's a little standoff.
I
you know?
think that you get more out of people when you're being receptive,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why, and I'm just going to be honest with you, constructive
No, that makes
criticism,
sense.
and you can throw it right back at me, but that's why I was a little more gravitating towards Hobbs here,
Uh-huh.
because you were being a little standoffish and a little,
Well,
you know, you got your hands in the vest and you're kind of doing the cop thing. And,
you know,
so
I mean, I'm sure anybody that's watching this and is a cop and knows cops or something like that. This is the place that you put your hands.
I always used to wonder if you had like a little backup revolver in there or something. And I know.
Some of us do.
Some, I'm sure you do, yeah.
No, but this honestly, because this is the most neutral spot that I can still have my hands. And
Okay.
It's not near my equipment that's going to freak anybody out. 'Cause if
No,
I'm
I
playing
get it,
like
I
this,
get it.
They'd be like, "Why's your hand on your gun?"
No, I
You know?
get it.
There's no.
I actually,
hands that's
I'm from out
comfortable.
west, man, and I open carry sometimes.
There you go.
And it's kind of hard. Yeah, I mean, you almost have to sometimes just put your hand on your.
And
Absolutely.
You don't
what
want to
I'm
do
always
that,
doing
so.
too. It cools you down.
Yep.
This thing.
But no, I appreciate it. You know what? I think the most important thing that's going to come out of this whole situation right here with all of us, I hope, is dialogue, communication. It's a lost art, man.
Yep.
And I think a lot of problems can be solved by just talking to each other. Now, I get that a lot of people give you a hard time,
They
Oh, yeah.
do.
don't want to talk to you.
Which is why
and-
I kind of was standoffish when I first approached you. Because when I
Right.
see two guys with cameras, I'm like, man, they're looking for
But
a
see,
fight.
so this positive interaction now reinforces in my mind that there are some good police officers out there, right? And I hope it reinforces in your mind that there might be
Stabilizer,
some
too. I'm sorry.
might be some guys out there with cameras that aren't
Yeah.
bad guys, right? So we're all just, you know, taking a wider view, I
That's
guess.
nuts.
Yeah, it does it.
That's nutty. You ever
I'm
put that in
I'm
a
used
car
to
or
it. It doesn't
something?
make me giggle anymore. Say again?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm fascinated by that.
No, it's pretty cool. It's I went to college, majored in photography 35 years ago.
Wow.
So it was a different world. We were playing with dangerous chemicals and
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Red
And
lights and all that.
nothing
Dark
kept your,
areas.
the thing that kept your camera stable back then cost $3 million and only the movie companies had them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different world.
Yep.
Everybody's got a camera in their pocket these days.
Oh, that ain't that the truth?
And I can't tell you how many times I was out. I was a staff photographer for the New York Times years ago. I've had a lot of professional positions doing photography, and I've had people come up and try to violate my rights. I can't tell you how many times. I've actually been put in handcuffs over taking pictures on the sidewalk. So it's something I feel passionately about.
I understand.
And I feel like if I can do something to bridge that gap between law enforcement and the citizens, I did something today.
Yep.
And I'll give you a little piece of information. This is my son.
I kind of figured. I mean, I can see
What,
the resemblance.
with as tall and good looking as he is,
Yeah.
you thought he was my son?
I just
Amazing.
assumed. I see
Well,
the
I take that as a
resemblance, so,
compliment. Yeah.
I see the resemblance.
No, but so that's what we do. We're all about education, positive interactions,
Travel
productive
state or
conversations.
travel country or what?
We've been in, we've actually done audits in what, 27, 28?
Probably 28.
28 states in the past 3 years.
Who's your
Driving.
favorite state?
Drive.
Who's your
That's how
least
committed I
favorite
am.
state?
Yeah.
My least
Tell us that. Least
Least
favorite
favorite
state.
my least favorite state is my home state of New York.
I can imagine that. Yeah,
I can
I'm
see
not
that, though.
surprised.
Favorite state is probably
Indiana,
I don't have a
all right.
favorite state. Favorite state's the Four Corners.
He said Indiana. All right.
No, I haven't been here long enough.
No, you haven't been here long.
No, just got to Indiana about hour ago.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but
Where's your last stop?
Ohio.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, coming this
Yeah.
So
way.
you're just coming this way.
Yeah,
Is
So
your
we're
goal
all
to hit
over
all
the place.
50 or?
48. I'm not getting on a plane. Yeah, I'm not getting on a plane, and I'm not driving through Canada either. Imagine, let me ask you a question. In your minds, just imagine a country where you do not have the right to go out on a sidewalk and take pictures. Imagine living in that society.
Yeah.
Imagine all the people at Disney World had to turn around and ask 4,000 people for permission to take pictures of their kids in front of the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is ridiculous. So a guy like this who jumps to, we're doing surveillance of the bank to plan to rob the place, that's ridiculous. That's not even what it really is that he's afraid, like you guys said.
Yep.
And I think people are afraid these days of things that they don't understand and things that they don't know about. Right?
Yeah. It's
So
very well.
why don't you
Unknown.
educate yourself? He should have came out and said, hey, what are we doing? And like, I don't mind if you guys are taking pictures. It's your right to be out here doing it. But he right away went to stupidity as far as I'm
Now,
concerned.
let me ask you this. If he would have came out here and he would have said, hey, I don't mind that you guys are taking pictures. Can you guys tell me what you guys are doing? Would you have told him?
If he would have said, I understand you have a right to take pictures, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Possibly. If he comes out telling me I'm breaking the law, he's going to call 911 on me and I'm creating a
You'll
security
immediately go
issue.
into
and-
defense mechanism. I understand that.
well, not even defense mechanism. I'm out here to prove a point. I'm conducting a First Amendment
Is
audit.
she with you guys?
Who's that?
The female across the street?
Oh, I only answer certain questions.
No, you're fine. I just want to know.
I'm assuming not. I can tell by the camera difference.
Yeah, I didn't think so. The quality of camera.
How good looking is she?
Oh, Lord.
Don't tell my wife I said that.
I think you just told her.
You
You're
did.
recording.
Yeah.
I can edit that out.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
No, but I think it is. I think it's very important for people to understand because you know what the issue is? It's not just about, a lot of people might say, oh, I'm not interested in taking pictures. What do I care about the right to take pictures on a sidewalk? That's stupid. I wouldn't want to do that. After they take my right away to take pictures, next they're going to come for your right to go hunting,
Yep.
your right to do what you love to do. You know, it's a right.
Have you
And
ever-
rights are like muscles. If you don't exercise them, they tend to go away.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever had anybody just pull a camera out and started recording you while you was recording them?
Probably that I didn't even know about.
Don't
Oh,
have to.
while I'm taking video?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just do it right back.
Oh, yeah, they were taking video of me from inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Huh?
I don't understand why people do that.
I've just
seen it in
seen it.
videos.
Well,
I've seen it in
I
videos,
do.
yeah.
I think they're trying to get the lay in my pockets and snag my wallet when I'm walking away. You know, I don't. Who knows? Could be. It's happened before.
Is that why you wear cargo shorts?
The zippers.
I just got too much stuff to
Throw
keep
it
in my
right-
pockets.
It's harder to
man.
get the zippers open, ain't it?
That's it. Yeah. Harder for me too when I'm trying to pay for something at the store.
Ain't that the truth?
But yeah, no, and I think it's important stuff, man. A lot of people think what we do is silly. A lot of people think it's very important. So I don't know what you gentlemen think. Rhetorical question, but you know, anything that is an exercise of rights inherently can't be wrong,
Yep.
as far as I'm concerned. And I don't have to understand everything you do. You don't have to understand everything I do. But we need to respect each other's right to do as we do.
Yep.
And as long as you're not creating a victim out of me, and I'm not creating a victim out of anybody else, who really cares what anybody's doing? I'm not that nosy.
You're right.
I don't care.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if I had a big Channel 7 news thing on the side here, they probably wouldn't care.
They wouldn't have
right?
said nothing to you.
But you can buy those at novelty stores.
Yeah, you're
So
okay.
how deep do you want to go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it's foolish. It's just foolish. And I'm sorry. One of the most awful things I think is going on in the world today is that people are walking around in fear. That's no way to live. Nobody should be living like that. Throughout the history of the world, horrifying things and wonderful things have simultaneously been going on since the dawn of mankind.
Yep.
It's all about what you choose to focus on.
Yep.
That's all it is.
I think
My father
fear is
always
the
used.
product of uneducated.
Well, my father always used to say to me when I was a kid, when you wake up in the morning, you got two choices. Either it's going to be a great day or it's going to be a lousy day, and it's completely up to you. So you make your day what you want it to be. And if you want to walk around in fear, you know, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right?
Yeah.
So, just terrible way to live. So I hope Scott gets something beneficial out of this.
Yeah.
You know, he's the leader in there. He's got all his employees all twisted up and all afraid. I didn't do that to them. I'm just out on the sidewalk taking pictures.
Yep.
They chose to behave that way.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll have a meeting about that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't think anybody's going to give you too much trouble on Richmond department anyway. We run into photographers and I'm not going to say people like you, but people with your hobby.
No, I get it.
A lot. Usually there's no issue. It's just some of those guys that do happen to listen to police scanners and want to chase calls and stuff like that.
Right.
And get into the scene and all that. We're like, you got to get out of here.
Right,
Then
right.
they start charging or start complaining about, freedom of speech and freedom of press and all
Right.
this stuff. I'm like,
Right.
buddy, you can from across the street. But
Well, though,
in the
yeah.
crime scene,
No, yeah, and the way we roll, I'm not looking to interfere in anything. But
Which
you know,
we appreciate.
the flip side of that, though, there are situations as well where somebody's giving the police officers plenty of room,
Yeah.
and they still want to chase them around the block.
Yeah,
So it works
that's-
both ways,
That's more of the whole power hungry type.
which
So,
exists.
As long as nobody is within proximity to me to harm me or grab my weapon or something like that,
Right.
I don't care.
Right. That's how it should be. I get it, man. You guys, you have a very dangerous job, and more dangerous than some, not as dangerous as others, I guess. But
Oh, yeah.
it's a profession that you chose to be in.
Yep.
You chose to be in that profession for a set of reasons, which I hope you keep with you throughout your career.
Yeah.
A lot of guys get jaded and bitter, and
I always told myself if I get complacent or anything like that or lose interest in the job, I'm hanging it up
there you go.
because it's not only a danger to myself, it's a danger to somebody else. So,
Absolutely.
but so
And like
far,
I
so
said,
good.
I actually said to Scott, you got to realize when somebody calls the police on me, what they're doing is they're putting my life in danger, right? Because
Could be.
stupid stuff happens,
Could be, yeah.
right?
Depending on the outcome.
So why would you want to do that to somebody? For taking pictures. Like I said, I'm just too old. It doesn't
hear
make
you.
any sense to me. I really don't believe that the guy that's going to rob the bank is going to stand out here like this.
Be surprised.
Well, and if he's going to do that, then where do you know?
You got to hit them where they're least expecting it,
Well, like I said, I mean, the way covert cameras are these days, you could walk around that whole bank for a half an hour, nobody'd know you have them.
That camera she's holding right now probably has just as good as quality as you guys.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, she's probably got much better zoom than I do because there's a
Yeah.
wide angle lens.
Oh, okay.
I can't really even zoom in that far. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Stay safe out there.
I appreciate that.
And keep honoring your oath, man. You did a good job today.
Right.
Thank you. So what do we got, fellas?
What's that?
Anything good?
No.
We already spoke to the bank. They're all good?
Yep, I think so. We just told them that they don't want recording through the windows. They're going to have to put blinds up or something like that to
Right,
stop
right.
it from, you know what I'm saying?
You got to
They're-
create the privacy.
Yep.
Right.
Their biggest, like I said, their biggest concern, which I told you this already, was just not so much getting a layout of their building or nothing like that. It's just other customers' informations. They didn't know how well, like, could the camera zoom in on account numbers, stuff like that.
Well, here's
you know
the
what I'm
thing,
saying?
too. You want to hear the genius of it. Look in the window. You're looking right at their, so they put their computer screens 8 feet away from the window,
Yeah.
aiming at the sidewalk, and they're worried
I
about. So
gotcha.
if I was a customer here, I'd be the one upset if I.
But that's where the concern came from. That, you know.
So we uncovered a security flaw here at the bank for them today, and hopefully have inspired them to address it and
So
make
come
some change.
Come back in a week to Indiana and see if they put blinds up yet.
Oh,
maybe?
somebody will come back and follow up.
Yeah. Somebody surely, right?
For sure.
But yeah, I'll wait for him to give it all go. I mean, yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
So, you guys
Well,
are good.
Appreciate you.
Public property. So, I mean, you guys are more
Yep.
than welcome to film and stuff. The biggest thing is, I mean, the
I'm
bank,
just gonna lean over here so I can hear you.
the bank is technically private property.
Right.
So if they don't want you filming the bank and on bank property, then they can ask you to be trespassed. But you guys are on a public sidewalk. There's not really anything to do.
Right, as
Yeah,
long as
it's-
we're not on their
On
property.
their property.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a security flaw, and that's something I talked to them about. They said that they would probably get around to fixing it within the next few days.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you guys are not doing anything wrong. So I mean, it's just they were called and they were concerned. You know,
Okay.
It's just us checking it out.
All right. The last thing I'm going to wind up doing is I always get the 911 calls because I want to hear what they told you. So we'll see what they said. Yeah. I just want to make sure. People, you know as well as I do, people have a tendency to embellish when they call 911.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Every day.
Somebody will have a phone on their hip that says he's got an AK-47 strapped over his back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, trust
And
me.
then that puts you guys into that type of response mode,
Because we have to respond a certain
which is
way.
doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
So they don't even really fully think out what they're doing to people.
Nobody does, man.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Well, we do.
Right.
And that's why we're not in trouble right now, because we thought it out very well.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Yep. All right.
Thank you very much.
You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. You do the same.
Be safe traveling the next day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So there goes one of the vehicles pulling away, vehicle number 121. Vehicle 204 is still here, and the other guy's still here around the corner. They both went back inside. And I was just letting the other officer know we're going to stand here, take some video in the windows now, purposefully and directly into their windows, purposely filming their computer screens because they were stupid enough to put all that stuff right in the windows. So that's their problem. If you want privacy out in public, you need to create it. And I guess they said they're going to address that in the next few days. And I think that would be a very smart thing for them to do if they're concerned about that. I'm sure the customers of the bank here would very much appreciate having their information shielded from the public view out on the sidewalk. I actually think it's pretty stupid that they had this set up this way. Yeah, lock it up. Keep that stuff private.
You never did give me the company. What's your YouTube name?
You got a pen?
I got a marker.
It's the name of the village I'm from in New York, so I'll spell it for you.
Go ahead.
Amagansettt. Second word, press. Amagansett Press. Let's go to YouTube. By the time you put in AMAG, I'll be the first
check
thing
it
that
out.
pops
Thank
up.
you.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Good night.
Well, all right, guys. Self-explanatory. I think enough said on this one. You know, if you run a business that's out on the sidewalk, especially a financial institution, might not be the smartest thing in the world to have your customers' public information displayed on 20-inch computer screens 6-8 feet away from the glass windows facing the sidewalk. Maybe address that before it becomes an issue. But otherwise, I would say the police handled it fine. You know, could have been better, could have been worse, but it is what it is, and they were professional. They didn't demand identification, didn't tell us we were doing anything wrong. So I'll give them a pass on this one. And people at the bank here, man, what a shame to live in fear like that, to live in anxiety like that, to make up 6 different stories. First he said it was about us filming inside, customers' information. Then he said it was about their alarm system. Then he went back to the customer information bit again. What was it really about, man? What's the deal? What are you really so worried about? Ask yourself. Have the honest conversations with yourself if you're not going to have them with anybody else. What's the deal? What are you really afraid of? And what can you do to work that out for yourself so that you don't put somebody else in harm's way needlessly? You know, a lot of things could have happened here today, and luckily it went well. Never like to end these videos without reminding you guys that if you enjoy these videos, you like what we do and you want to support what we do, best way for you to do that, hands down, is to like, share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff gets our videos out to more and more people so that more people can watch them, enjoy them, and hopefully learn a little something. I know I'm out here with the Watchman getting an education every day, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. Also invite you to do the same for his channel. Kid's doing great work out here. Obviously, you'll see things on his videos that you won't see here, such as his narration, maps, information, all kinds of stuff. He puts a lot of hard work into it. So I'll leave a link in the description. Check him out if you're so inclined. And that's it. So we're going to hop in the truck, head down the road, probably call it a day, grab something to eat, and we'll be back out at it again tomorrow. So for now, coming to you from the Merchants Bank of Indiana in Richmond, Indiana, watching the Watchman, Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out.